That's right. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and it's only been a month.
Yes, our last episode was last month, the Valentine's special, and this time it's right after St. Patrick's Day, but this is not a St. Patrick's Day episode.
Just happens to be right after, and it's completely unrelated. And while we're short on topics today, we are not short of opinions, so it's also the first day of
Spring.
So happy spring, everyone. And let's spring into action now with the Colin and Lois show. Our first topic today is about a wonderful little jewel that was on Disney Plus.
Yes, this movie came out like 3 years ago, but we hadn't seen it before. The Greatest Showman.
I'd stand to argue that a lot of people, didn't see that movie when it came out.
Well, I saw the trailer for it, but it didn't look interesting.
Yeah, but since everyone, I guess, now that it's released on Disney Plus, hello. So we have a wonderful cat here who decided to join us.
He came up here at the last episode too, and he showed him his butt last time.
Maybe he likes you guys. I don't know. So we watched The Greatest Showman, which was released on Disney Plus about when?
It was in December, and we watched it on Christmas Eve as we were waiting to go to midnight mass. So we had like a few hours before we had to leave, and I said, let's watch this, and I hope it's magical.
Well,
and it was.
Yeah, it's a very, very good movie. Due to my addiction of TikTok videos, I'm constantly seeing a lot of different people doing the dance from now on, seeing the entire musical soundtrack is pretty phenomenal.
Yeah, and I wasn't sure if I would like it because I don't really like musicals that much, but it was amazing. I can't praise it enough, I think.
Well, I mean, I think there's a limit to,
I really liked the, that wasn't a tightrope, but...
Are you talking about the trapeze artist?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Yes, I like the song with Zendaya and Zac Efron. I really like that scene a lot.
You know I want you. It's not a secret I try to hide. It's up to you, and it's up to me. No one can say what we get to be.
You think it's easy. You think I don't want to run to you. No one can rewrite the stars. How can you say you're mine?
All I want is to fly.
The entirety of it is a good movie. I'd strongly suggest it, and be prepared to get songs stuck in your head.
Yes.
So, moving on to other pop culture things. Thank you, Hank, for, it looks like he's wanting to type too.
Or stop the recording.
Yeah, I'll just, so you can see what he's doing exactly. This is where his paw is. He just laid it on here. Oh, you done typing? Is that right, Hank? Okay. Yeah, he's a bit of a weirdo. With that being said, I guess Hank's done typing. There are a few new shows that we're watching.
Yes.
Why don't you walk us into the first one?
Okay. The CW has released or made or whatever a remake of the show Walker, Texas Ranger, but it's just called Walker. And it has one of the main actors from Supernatural.
And I would just like to state for the record that, what's his name? Jared Padalecki?
Yes.
Is no Chuck Norris.
I'm gonna take you down. And I'm gonna take you down hard.
You want me, Walker?
Just name the time and place.
No, and I don't even know if I like the show that much. I just wanted to try it since, I like
You watched, him be Sammy for, so many
15
years. Yeah.
You sure you're ready for this?
Well, I don't have a choice.
This is my destiny.
It's a decent show. Comparatively, it's much more, like drama than the old Texas Ranger. But, I mean, when have you ever known Chuck Norris to do drama? So, you having fun there, Hank? He just likes laying around and, getting attention. But only whenever we're filming or I'm on a call on the computer. Or she's doing yoga. It doesn't matter.
he wants to annoy us.
Yeah. Another new show that we're watching is Superman and Lois.
Oh, yeah.
So that show, it's polar opposite to Lois and Clark back in the 90s with Dean Cain, which I enjoyed watching. They're being Superman, Clark Kent, and Lois Lane in Metropolis. And instead, this is them later on in life, and they've had children, which, apparently one of them may or may not have powers. But
Spoiler. We'll put a spoiler banner.
Yeah, definitely a spoiler. If you're like 2 or 3 episodes in. But the really neat thing is that they bring it back to Smallville. And we enjoyed the show Smallville a lot whenever it was on the CW. Although...
And the WB.
It's not the same actor. But you got to think to yourself as, Superman and Lois having kids, one of them's bound to have powers. And also, it's having children. I mean, in the comic DC universe, there was always a struggle whether or not Lois and Clark could have children. And, there's another couple that found out that they could have children, but they broke a bed in the process. It's a movie reference. That she would get.
It's a book reference, too.
Yeah, a book reference, too. So, I definitely recommend Superman and Lois. It is in my opinion, so far, is they're bringing elements of the multiverse in with the rest of the multiverse series. Arrowverse. It's multiverse. And, they're just calling it Arrowverse for CW purposes.
Well, I give my opinion now. Yes, Miles looks forward to that show every week because I say, do you know what show's on tonight? And he's like, no. And I'm like, you know what day it is? And then he's like, oh, yeah. And, well... it makes me feel sad because it takes place in Smallville, but it's not the Smallville that I grew up with, and it just makes me nostalgic and a little bit sad. And you can't even see my face.
Because this guy is all in her business.
He's never done this before.
Yeah, now he's coming around here. I don't understand. You see, and he's just back to where he started, waving his tail in her face. I don't get you, man. What's wrong with him? He's like wanting to put the laptop down entirely so he is able to flatten it. He's like, what am I doing? What am I doing? Anyway.
Another show we watched that is not new. It's in its second season, and also on the same channel, is Nancy Drew.
Which is a lot more creepy than the Bucks.
Yes, and the characters aren't the same, and my mom stopped watching it partway through the first season because she couldn't get past that the characters weren't like in the books. But I could get past that because I didn't really get into the books all that much.
Yeah, if you're going to watch this, you're going to have to completely throw out your window the notion of calling the cops, because they never call the cops.
Because that one guy is not helpful. the new guy, he's not helpful.
Sure, but in the last episode, and again, spoiler alert, is two of the characters rather got kidnapped by this deranged guy, and no, we're not going to the cops.
But you know what he would say? He would blame them and say it was their fault for getting kidnapped.
Yeah, well, and that's why I say you have to throw your notion of a normal person calling 911 out the window.
But also, I like this show so much that I watch it twice a week, and I make notes so I can keep track of all the craziness that's happening, because they have so many branches off of things, it's hard to remember.
And I tell her she should post her notes in a blog, but yet she hasn't.
Because they're not that interesting. They're just to help me remember things so I don't have to rewatch the whole season before the next one.
Well, I think they'd be interesting to some people. Something interesting to me that she did recently was this, which it's not a 1,000 apparently, it's a 5,500 ab challenge. 5,500 challenge.
Yes.
You like the number 5, so that works out.
Yeah.
So tell them about what you did.
Okay, it's my time to brag on myself. So, as a lot of you who watch this show know, I follow the fitness channel Blogalotties, and Cassie came out with a 1,000 ab challenge, which we would do 100 reps of 10 ab moves. So, day 1, 100 crunches. Day 2, 100 crunches and 100 of whatever the next exercise was. Day 3, 300 ab reps. And then on day 10, we would do 100 reps of 10 different moves to equal 1,000 reps on day 10. And I was afraid to try the challenge. I thought that I would not be strong enough. And I was wrong because I completed the challenge. And I was so happy.
One note that should be made here is during the beginning of her doing this, she was starting to have difficulties, just because she didn't have anything to put her feet under.
With the sit-up.
With the sit-ups. And so I came in there graciously, to be of help. And I said, well, why don't I just, sit on your feet? And what was the comment you made?
Well, in my head, I thought I didn't know if his butt would be big enough to hold my feet down, or like to be wide enough for where my feet should be. And then he said, I'm like, oh, your butt is large enough.
She called me a big butt. So apparently I've got a big caboose. So
no, it was just the right size for my feet.
So I'm really happy that I was able to sit down and help you sit up.
Yes.
Get it? Sit down, sit up.
Yes.
I thought that was pretty clever. Well, as I said, there's not many topics that we're covering today, but that's okay. We'll make this more of a habit, and I hope that you follow and like and subscribe as well to keep up.
I'm sorry that if this was not the best show, because Hank was in my face the whole time.
But now you get a good close angle of Hank. Just see what he looks like. He's a rascal.
Because you'll never see him in real life.
Yeah, he'll hiss at you and, run off to Timbuktu because, humans. Or, he's scared of like, air, like, breathing, anything. Anyways, well, she's Colin.
And he's Miles.
Allegedly. If you're the police, talk to my lawyer. Thanks for watching.
Bye.